Hey everyone, Colton here, once again channeling Darren's spirit from the beyond of E3 to talk about his experiences with the Dauntless tech demo. He sent his thoughts on the game and its current state over for me to share with you, so let's get right into it. Hidden in an off-site of Partel, Phoenix Labs shared a rare opportunity. In an alpha that's heavily under wraps with few invites ever sent out, we were given an opportunity to tackle 4 hunts and recorded 2 of them to share. Enjoy this rare look inside as we break down the current state of things in Dauntless. Dauntless is a game that adheres closely to the mantra that less is more. While it is an action MMORPG in the same tradition of big-ass monster hunting games before it like Terra, you won't find complex skill bars here. Combat comes down to sprinting, dodge rolling, well-timed item usage, friendly revives, and a variety of left and right mouse-click combinations that, depending on your weapon, allow for a few connected attacks to really bring the pain when a target's defenses are down. With the fluid system of changing your playstyle as easy as changing your weapon, Dauntless has to do something far more challenging than simply flashy spells and pretty armor crafting to set itself apart from the competition. So how does it set itself apart? Well, beyond the gorgeous Pixar-esque cel-shading visuals, it's the monster AI that really sold this game for me. The 2 more challenging hunts that we were allowed to record offered battles in which the bosses gave me that same feeling of intimidation and uncertainty as one would feel when facing off against a highly skilled opponent in a PvP game. With each boss carrying its own set of tells, its own personality, and its own set of devastating attacks, I found approaching a boss to be a daunting experience. My allies, 2 other members of the gaming press and 1 developer, were seemingly immune to this fear. They also were repeatedly smashed into the ground for their aggressive playstyle, which in one hunt turned out to be a bad thing, as each time you revive an ally, your ally will rise with less and less HP. Eventually, if you have to revive them too many times, your squad will be forced to retreat, ending the hunt unsuccessfully. This means everyone on a hunt has to be on their game and play for the long haul of dealing damage while escaping unscathed, a Herculean task, I assure you. Despite the size of the monsters, you have to realize that they move very fast. They have unpredictable attack patterns. They have buffs, power-ups, and even a fatigue system. You can cut off key appendages with enough focus fire to ease the challenge of a fight, though. They'll flee from you when a situation is dire. They'll taunt and show their bravado to make you second-guess yourself on attacks. Meanwhile, your character is slow. Only melee weapons are available, meaning all 4 of your team has to find an opening in close proximity to a foe to start racking up damage. Many attacks have a decent wind-up and post-attack animation that means if you choose to attack, you're leaving yourself vulnerable to counterattack. There's no auto-attack cancels and instant animation roll breaks to bail out of a bad situation. This is already a lot to consider. Add in the fact that certain attacks will destroy you on a direct hit, and even a partial dodge will still hurt, and it becomes a lot more challenging. It makes you really respect and celebrate pulling off a well-timed dodge to avoid certain death, and thankfully I captured some great moments of what this looks like in the footage we were allowed to take. Another element of that intimidation I mentioned comes from the fact that your target has no HP bar. You can sort of get a sense of the stage of battle they're in from the visual indicators or from knocking off a body part, but you can't just all charge in when a boss is at 10% health for the kill because you just won't know when the boss is that low. With enough experience, veteran hunters will probably be able to gauge it roughly, but for newbies like us, we were fighting blind in what often seemed like a hopeless and endless struggle. The battles are pretty long, too. If you want an epic fight, you'll get them. Even in the few runs when we were allowed to use over-leveled gear, it still took us a solid 7 to 10 minutes to bring our target down. Add in another 4 or 5 minutes for tracking the beast across the gorgeous flying islands with various climates and wildlife, and you have a truly engaging experience. There's still much work to be done, and sadly the post-battle UI was in an unfinished state, so we couldn't really see who excelled for bragging rights, but for now the base gameplay for Dauntless is in a very solid place. I can't say that this is a game for everyone, but for those looking for that real Dark Souls-style visceral combat with a bit more of a cartoony vibe and the fun of an online community, Dauntless seems to have a big monopoly on it heading into the near future. Well, that's all for now. Make sure you subscribe and keep it locked on MMOHuts.com for all the latest coverage from E3 2017.